him towards it. Once again, it's not played as epically as it could. It could have been Scarlet, my dear, I don't give a damn. Like, there really could have been some epicness to it. But once again, Gavin O'Connor chose to shoot it more realistically. And I think that might have hurt him in the short run. But, I mean, 8.2 on IMDb. I'm really surprised by that. I never see scores like that on IMDb. So you have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of movies with ratings. And this is 160 on IMDb. That's big.
Yeah, even when I was researching for this episode and I'm looking at like the best MMA movies, like I saw a good article on The Athletic and I saw, yeah, and Warrior was at the top. I mean, it was at the top of all of them. Everyone loves it, but it doesn't make any money. It's amazing.
And here's what's crazy. The thing is, too, is what I like is that they went out of their way to make sure the MMA community loved it. And the MMA community did really enjoy it. Anthony Johnson, Nate Marquardt, all those guys who are in this really dug this movie. And it's kind of funny. We did an episode about the movie Days of Thunder, and NASCAR gave them full permission to do whatever they wanted in that film, and then they hated it because they showed them building cars in barns, and all the cars do is rub against each other and bump each other. And NASCAR had to order a gag order on some of the racers from talking crap about the movie.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Because they had unprecedented. Just they use whatever from NASCAR they wanted. And NASCAR's like, we hate this movie. But in this one, it
always seems that way. When you have too many resources, you have too much time, you have too much leeway, it almost works against you. But if you have a small budget, you got new people, you shoot in 8 weeks, you can really grind the best out of people, make it more realistic. So sometimes it works against you when you have all those resources.
And we talked about that with M. Night Shyamalan. When he got a bigger budget, his movies got worse. But then he scaled it back for The Visit and then Split, and his movies became really popular, fashionable again, because he went back to being small. And when you don't have that budget, I mean, Marvel can do it. There's some big budget movies, Gladiator, that can really pull out that vibe with very expensive movies. But I dig it. When your movie has $5 million, you got to prep the heck out of it. So you know that movie inside and out. You don't have the luxury of going onto set and going, what are we doing today? I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. And so you have to be cheap and creative. You can't afford all that gear all the time. You can't afford all that. So you get creative. And I think that's what they did on this too. And 25 million is not big. Let's put some money on it for inflation nowadays. So let's say it's maybe 35 million. That's still that's some movies nowadays are 300 million. And I guess I feel bad though, because movies like this don't really exist anymore because they don't make that money.
What was Gavin O'Connor's last movie with Ben Affleck?
The
basketball coach.
Oh, yeah. That movie made bank. That's getting a sequel.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Maybe Warrior was just ahead of its time.
No, I think it was. It was just, but I mean, all right, look at Accountant. It's just an assassin with what did he have? OCD? An OCD accountant hitman? Like that's the movies people want to watch, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's about serial killers these days, man. You don't want to hear a story about a teacher. It's a lot of the, but this was almost like a reality show. I mean, it was very, very real.
I mean, he went on to make The Americans, which became one of the most popular TV shows around. So, I mean, this dude.
What was the basketball one? What was the basketball one?
I'm sorry. Oh, he did The Way Back.
The Way Back, that's it. I get it confused with The Way Back.
Oh,
that's why they should have had a new title for that. But yeah, Connor's he's had a trifecta of sport movies: Miracle, Warrior, and The Way Back. 3 completely different sports. He keeps jumping from sport to sport, and he keeps making great films.
So he had Ben Affleck as a OCD assassin. Now he has him as a drunk basketball coach.
Yeah,
he can't just have him so Kurt Russell's a coach. Joel Edgerton's an MMA fighter. He always has to have Ben Affleck. What's next? A drunk basketball coach. What's his trilogy? All right, we'll finish with this. We'll finish the episode with this. A drunk basketball coach, OCD assassin. What's the third in their trilogy? So he's the accountant in The Way Back. What's the third?
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm not that creative. But either way, Ben I think that was good because it was kind of echoing what he was going through in real life. So it was very O'Connor-ish to cast Ben Affleck in that movie.
Man, he could be something like a guy who has vertigo, but he works on skyscrapers. I don't know. The Vertigo Architect. There it is. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, so we'll do one more thing. You talked about your favorite moment in the movie, but real quick, what was your favorite moment aside from what you said, and then we'll get out of here. Like, what's your sales pitch for this movie, or what's your favorite moment, whatever you want?
My sales pitch for the movie is, I don't know, maybe watch something of substance. Watch something that you can feel good about. Watch something that can inspire you right now. It's about, we're seeing so much division right now. I think in social media and civil unrest and these people work through a lot of pain, and these people work through a lot of anger toward each other. And it's not easy, but you can do it. So I think the message is very strong right now, given a lot of the discourse we're seeing.
Yeah, I think watch something of substance. I think you nailed it. And also,
watch people come together.
Actors must love working with this guy, because he's had Kurt Russell, he's had Ed Norton, Colin Farrell in Pride and Glory, Warrior Nick Nolte, Hardy, and Edgerton. And then he had Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor and Jane Got a Gun, Ben Affleck, and The Accountant. People love working with this dude.
Yeah, I think he should be a general or something, because I'm watching him, and he talks with so much passion. He's so into what he's saying, and Tom Hardy stayed with him for like 5 days during the casting. He's just flew in and lived with the guy. So like he's like, he talks about it with so much passion that makes you want to follow him. So I see him as almost like this rock star CEO of some startup that makes it big, or I see him as a general that people are kind of just drawn to him, even though the movies require a lot of energy.
All right, so after The Accountant sequel and then the Vertigo he has to make the Vertigo Architect. So I want to see that. I think that'll be a good one. I like that. No,
Overcoming Vertigo.
One floor at a time. Brother, he's working up. Oh, man.
Working his way up through the world.
Yep, with Vertigo. Jeez. All right, well, thank you for joining me.
Man, that was so much fun. I've made it. I'm on Movies, Films, and Flicks. Watch Warrior.
All right, cool. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Irish Erik Hoffmeyer, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.